Now, our first guest of the night managed to reach week 5 in this year's BBC series of The Apprentice.
That's right. Zeeshaan Shah will be joining us in just a moment, but before he does, let's take a look at the latest episode in which he unfortunately was fired.
Next time.
Your task is finding certain items that are required for the opening of the hotel.
You can put the map away because I know Dubai like the back of my hand.
A day trip to Dubai.
I'm in a very, very rush.
He's absolutely full of it.
Go!
Turns up the heat.
I want the pot.
That means they've wasted all day, not bought anything.
I'm really worried.
And someone's sent packing.
On this particular task, like it or not, you were weak. You're fired.
So that was the episode of The Apprentice in which our first guest of the night got fired by Lord Sugar. Welcome to the show, Zeeshaan Shah.
Welcome to the show. Assalamu alaikum.
Great to have you here.
Well, I tell you what, we don't know where to start, really. We've got so many questions for you.
Indeed.
I think before we get onto the details of the whole Know Dubai like the back of my hand and the task for that week, I'd like to find out a little bit about the background, about the selection process, how long it took, how many contestants there were, and how you felt when you were finally found out, you know, it's going to be me. I'm going to be on The Apprentice.
I mean, it's been a fantastic experience. What a journey. Going back, I think it was about now a year ago, probably about this time last year when I initially applied. A lot of friends and family told me, you know, you're ideal for this. This is really so you. And I think, you know, I was when I applied. I think I just turned 27. So you know, it's that age where you can do these kind of things and these experiences because. You know, it's something that it's an achievement to like I've done under 30, you know, before that age. So anyway, it's quite a grueling selection process, to be honest. I think initially there's over 150,000 people that apply.
Wow. That is a lot.
And from then X amount actually get to the audition stages. Auditions go over sort of 3 phases. It's serious.
Quite intense.
Yeah, it's very intense. There's individual interviews, group interviews. All of it.
So what was the reaction like when you actually, you know, you got the phone call, the news that you were going to be on the show?
I kind of expected it.
Really?
Yeah.
That is super confident. Huh? 150,000 people, no
But I've
problem.
got it, that's okay.
It's going to be
No,
me.
Because you go through all the stages and you know how far you've got. And obviously when I got to the last stage, I understood that I was part of the final, let's say, you know, the final batch of people. And at that stage I was pretty confident. Obviously, but it was, you know, it was quite overwhelming when I finally did get the phone call and said, look, you're on, we want you to be a part of it. I was happy. I was driving in my car. I can remember I was on my way to work, and it did take a few seconds to sink in.
So, living in the house, being with the team, what's all that like? I mean, it must be. I mean, I can't imagine that there isn't just everybody wants to see the demise of everybody else. that has to be hanging over the top of everything that you say and do all the time.
I think when we're on task, it's very different. Everyone's aggressive, everybody's like kind of trying to get one over the other. But when we're in the house, it's really nice because you've got a bunch of like-minded people in essence.
Sure.
All successful people, all motivated people, all who've got similar goals and ambitions in life. One very unique thing that I found about it was that you don't often get a group of people who are A, business-minded and successful, but also very exuberant characters.
Yeah.
The show obviously has a lot of, you know, loud personalities. So when you get them all together, it's a big sort of, it's lots of fun, put it that way. It is nice.
A big ego party, I can imagine.
Exactly, it is.
Well, tell us about when you first met Lord Sugar. That must have been quite an experience, and it's something that's obviously quite a build-up to that moment where you receive your first task and actually get to meet him.
Yes, and it is exactly how the viewers watch it, to be honest. We're in that waiting room. You've never met any of the other candidates. You're in that waiting room. You're told exactly where to go. You walk in, that familiar scene from what you've seen on TV. You've got a few candidates there. You go and sit. You're not talking to each other. Everyone's in their zone, waiting to go into the boardroom. One by one, all the candidates come. The receptionist says, Lord Sugar will see you now. You walk in, he's there, and he's straight bang at you.
Really?
Yeah.
So there's no kind of chilling out behind the scenes?
Oh,
and
no,
getting to know it?
no.
Really? It's really formal like
As soon as we're sat there waiting, we've got no idea what to expect. Receptionist says go in. You walk in, Lord Sugar, Nick, Karen sat there, and straight on, he's scrutinising your CV straight away, scrutinising your application form. You've said this, you've said that. And,
Speaking of what you've said, we're going to come back to you in a minute because there's a famous phrase that we're going to go to about knowing Dubai like the back of your hand. Or something like that. I'm sure.
Me? Are you sure?
Yeah. So,
sure?
so we're going to come back to you in a minute to find out a little bit more about that and a little bit more about what future you're hoping for and where it's all going to go from here.
Yeah, fantastic.
Speaking of fun, back to our guest. coming back to that phrase now, I know Dubai like the back of my hand. Do you think that, I mean, it's always brave to put yourself forward as a project leader. Were you really confident at the start? Did you think as soon as you heard it was going to be Dubai, were you like, that's it, it's my chance, I'm going to do it? Or were you hesitant? I think I would always be hesitant to put myself forward because you do put yourself in the firing line, don't you?
What the viewers didn't see is that I was actually quite hesitant, but it's like you said, it's a very it's a hostile atmosphere. Everyone's trying to get one up on each other. Before I'd even got out of bed in the morning, the other candidates just said, "Oh, Z, we're going to Dubai. You know Dubai well. You know Dubai well." So it's already been put on me. So all I was doing was taking what was given to me. I wasn't putting myself in that position, if that makes sense.
And how difficult was that whole Dubai experience? Because I mean, you know, when we saw the episode, it does seem like there's so many different things going on. It's all hustle and bustle. There's so much to do. How hard was it for you to kind of time manage and effectively manage that task?
That task was, I think, even the other candidates say it was one of the more difficult tasks. And I think, in essence, my local knowledge actually played to my disadvantage in a way. In a very short time frame, the items such as oud, which got confused from the perfume to the guitar. Now I've genuinely spoken to quite a few people who say, look, our first instinct would also be the perfume. Especially when it's a standard size, mahogany, it's got, you know, so unfortunately I think in that way it actually played to my disadvantage.
Well, look, we've got an episode, or rather a clip from an episode. I mean, I know you spoke about personalities, egos clashing. Have a look at this. This is a little clip from, as I said, from episode 1. Tell us what was going on.
I'm not looking forward to this.
Tell us what was going on here.
Okay. Let me speak to them.
It's all right, guys.
No, listen, I need to speak to them. Do you not understand that? I said it about 7 times, mate.
Listen, what do you want to say?
I said it 7 times. I want to tell them where to sell those jackets.
Z, listen to me.
When I'm saying to them 7 times, because I said to them 7 times.
All right, well, here's the 8th time. Ring them back.
Yeah, they're here. Hello.
Wow, that looks quite heated.
I have to say, I missed that in the series. That was quite a moment, wasn't it?
That was the first episode.
Well, talk us through that and your reaction right now. How did you feel watching that?
It's funny because it looks like it is heated, but it was all calculated. I did it for a reason. Neil, he's a great guy. I get along with him very well, but it's the first task, and he's a very loud character. And he was really like, for example, before that, there was a pitch that I was doing, and he interfered. And he's really like sort of, you know, everyone's trying to assert themselves in essence. Anyway, so then after that, he was on the phone. I'm saying, pass me the phone. And he's not giving it. Eventually, he actually, what you can't see in the clip is he did pass it across to me, and they were still on the phone. So I could have easily just picked up the phone and had the conversation, but I wanted to make the point to him.
You felt you needed to mark your territory.
Yeah, exactly. And after that, the guy was sound and clear with me. But the funny thing is, what no one noticed in that clip, and which I find hilarious every time, is that he's going, just call them back. And I'm like, no, don't worry, they're still here. I just wanted to give you some abuse. They are here on the phone.
Well, I mean, you have to say, I mean, obviously, in an environment where you've got all these different people and they've all got outgoing extrovert personalities, they're all go-getters, they're all business people, you have to say some things to mark yourself to stand out. Now, we've got a little quote here from you.
Do.
I am a great of my generation. I'm an innovator, a leader in business. I take inspiration from Napoleon. I'm here to conquer.
Inshallah, inshallah. I think it's, look, in life you've got to be, I believe, even as Muslims, it's our duty to maximise the potential of our lives and do as much as we can. I mean, a lot of these quotes are largest quotes that have been narrowed down into to make it really interesting. But I read a lot of books. And in matter of fact, when they asked me who my role models are, my first role model was the Prophet Muhammad. But that wasn't as interesting as, you know, me saying Napoleon, for example. Sure. This makes but you know, anyway, the point being that I read a lot of books. People like Napoleon, for example, Alexander the Great, modern times, Einstein. Lots of these people have achieved in their lives and made a difference to modern society as we know it. They inspire me. I like to read about them and understand how these people have changed the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I mean, you're a confident businessman yourself. You're a CEO of a company. And what kind of advice would you give for any kind of aspiring entrepreneurs out there?
I think you follow your dreams, believe in yourself. It's really these basic things. I think for me, I've always been a rebel, by the way. I've always done exactly the opposite of what I should have done according to my parents or according to society. I don't promote that, but believe in what you're doing. And if you think if you want to do something, go for it. One thing that I think distinguishes me, myself, and a lot of people that I know is people think of things and they put them off and they don't do them. I do them. If I see an opportunity, for example, in Dubai, when I was 21, I was at university, I saw an opportunity in Dubai, I moved out there. I saw an opportunity in Spain, I moved there. It's just the fact that when I think of something, I do it. There's nothing wrong with failing. Failing is a part of life. The most successful people in the world are ones who have failed the most. Embrace failure, and everybody loves a trier. There's no harm in going there and trying.
Very, very good advice.
Indeed.
Very good. Absolutely. I can see why they chose you. Fantastic. Well, look, moving on to our story of the day today, we're talking about language. You said that you didn't concentrate at school, or you weren't following the curriculum. Do you remember any long words? What's the longest word you know? Put you on the spot there.
Yeah, supercalifragilistic.
There we go.
Honestly,
We got that one again. That's right. Well, we do want to hear.